On the left was your putting stroke before I made some adjustments. And let's first look at your setup. On the right was after we made some adjustments. And the first thing that's obvious as we look here is that you widened your stance. Your stance was a little bit too narrow for putting. I do like your stance that close when you're chipping and pitching little soft chip shots around the green. But for putting, I want a little bit wider stance. And what you have on the right is very good. Now as you take your putter back on the left and come through, when you hit the ball, your eyes are down, but you're letting your eyes swing and follow the ball with your eyes. And you also are recoiling your putter. You're pulling that back. And so what we did in our session is we worked on improving that process and do a putt hole look. So now that on the right is your putting stroke after some adjustments. As you make contact, your eyes are down and you keep them down. Very good. And you swing to a complete finish and you hold still, hold your follow through in that position. Your eyes are down. And then after that moment or two, you then look, and then while you're looking, you're still holding your putter out in the forward finish. You're not recoiling it backwards. So going forward, I want you to really focus and practice putt, hold, look. The putting stroke on the right is very good. You just want to keep reinforcing that.
Good. Whatever that felt like, try to copy. Good. That's a much more forceful through swing. I want you to really swing forcefully, just like you were in the practice swing, all the way to that end point. Don't worry. Just go right to your end point. Okay, good. Let's play the ball back in your stance slightly. So, yeah, you're going to move in front of the ball a little bit more. That's going to create a little bit more shaft lean. The ball's going to come off a little bit lower. There you go. Get on that left side. Now, with the putting, I had you widen your stance. With this, I want you to narrow your stance. So I want you to really get narrow and really lean on this left side and stay on that left side. Go ahead and grip it and set up there. I'm going to move the club, but you hold it while I move it. You have a tendency as you hit the ball to cup a little bit like that. Back to the left hand. I want that left hand to continue to move forward through. If you cup it, it starts exaggerating the loft. The ball just goes straight up. It doesn't go forward enough. If you keep this left, it keeps it kind of lower. Okay, that went forward a little bit more. Hands very forward. You really get the hands and the weight forward. Shaft lean. So as you come through, you want to keep that there. And don't flip it this way. Yes. Try that a few times. No, you can go ahead and start hitting some balls with that. That's it. Okay, play it just a little bit further on your back foot. Keep your weight on your front foot as well. There you go. That's the one. I actually want you to have a little wrist hinge. So take it back a little bit. I actually want you to hinge your wrist just a little bit, so you have a little bit of almost a chop feel. Yes. Let me see you hit some chips with that small amount of wrist hinge in your backswing. That's the one I want to see. Swing. You should be almost facing the flag when you finish your swing. Good. Now they're rolling out. Very nice. So the real message for you the image that works for you is letting yourself turn to the target. And that automatically keeps your hands quiet and not flippy. Hit it with your shoulders, in a sense. Good. I'm seeing you start out really good. You've got here, but I see you rocking rocking with your club. So when your club goes to the right, so does your weight. You've got to learn to take it back, but stay heavy on the left foot. That'll help you hit the ground every time. That was your best. That's sound right there. Just go right through that. Scrape that grass. Very nice. Oh, that was really good. That really got under the ball. Good. Good ones come out. Now they're getting there. Moving. Do a practice swing for me. I want you to try to hit my hand, your left hand. You still have a tendency to want to kind of flip this through. You want to flip that through. You got to keep that handle leading. Very nice.
Helen, on your chipping, we adjust a little bit. Your ball position, you had a tendency to have it a little bit too far forward, and so I moved it back a little bit. The key to hitting the ground, you're not consistently hitting the ground and getting that little bump of the ground as you make contact with the golf ball. On the left was your swing and chipping technique before I did some additional adjustments. Your setup in both swings, the one on the left and on the right, are very good setups. You have a nice shaft lean in both, where your hands are a little bit in front of the ball. You have your feet close together, which is very good. I'm going to take the club back on your chipping technique on the left. Was that kind of at the beginning of the chipping session? As you come through, you let the club head doesn't return to that shaft lean position. At the beginning of the swing, you have your shaft leaning forward like this, but at impact, you stop your hands and your hands stop and you flip the club head past your hands and you're in that position. And so what I want is for your hands to stay in front of the club face all the way through the swing. If we go back again to the start, and you can see the angle between your right forearm and the shaft. And what I would like to have happen as you start approaching the ball, right now you still have forearm and shaft angle, but the closer you get to the golf ball, the more this club head starts to go faster than your hands and catches up to it, and you flip the club head through. So now at impact, your forearm and your shaft are basically on the same line. And that here's your forearm and here's your shaft, and you don't have that angle anymore. You've kind of thrown that away. And also you can see how your left wrist is starting to buckle there as you go through. This here is very straight and this here is very bent, and that's cupping that wrist, and that's preventing you from hitting down into the golf ball, hitting the ground, and keeping the club face at its proper loft so the ball goes forward instead of pop straight up in the air. Now on the right is after some work on that, and you had a much better position coming through, and you can see how your left hand swung so much further through, and the angle in the back of your left wrist did not get really severe, and you can see how your hip and your knee are participating. You're turning your body to the target. So that's a much improved swinging technique and chipping technique. So you want to continue to work on the body swing. Swing your body to the target, and that will let your hands be a little bit quieter and take some of that little flippiness out of your hand. I want to show you one other swing that you did during our session. And this was not out of golf balls, when we were kind of talking about how to move the left hand, continue moving the left hand towards the target. And this was the one time that you executed and maintained this angle right here. As you went back and came forward, you kept that angle. When you got back to where you started the swing, you still had that angle. As you continued forward, you still had that angle. As you continued forward, this was a practice swing with no ball, but your mind was focusing on letting that back of that hand, that left hand, swing to my hand. So you weren't thinking about swinging the club head. You were thinking about swinging the handle, and you kept that all the way to here. You kept that angle. So that was very good. So as you came through, and that kept the club head. So as you were coming through, you were thinking about swinging the handle and not the club head. The club head is going to move, but in your mind, you were moving the hand forward and keeping that angle. And that's what you're going to want to work on, is keeping that handle going forward.